Hey guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Morgan. If you've been here before, welcome back. If you haven't, I'm glad to have you. I'm going to be giving you guys a November update. If you're interested in any of my other updates, I'm going to link the playlist down below and you can just follow along with our journey. We had a great month. I think in the beginning, just trying to move past the hustle of volleyball, and we still had a lot to do in November. But it just felt different. I don't know. It just felt a little different. So I'm going to start out with my first grader. We are still trucking along with our Saxon Math 1 and Logic of English Foundations C. As I talked about in my previous video, we have transitioned to a different type of schedule. We're actually taking 2 days for her Saxon Math because the lessons can be really long. We're also taking about 2 days for one lesson in Foundation C. So she's doing about 2.5 lessons of each per week. And y'all, I didn't want to do it, but it has brought so much relief to our schedule. I'm so glad that God planted that seed in my mind to do this. Like, thank you, Holy Spirit, because we've had more time to do other things, more free time, more time to work on crafts, and more time to work on reading. I really had to just kind of reevaluate what I was looking to get out of her first grade year of school. And my main goal has always been for her to be able to learn how to read and be at a certain, I would say, level. Like, I'm not testing her, but to be at a certain level within her reading. Where I have set the goal, she'll probably be there before the end of the school year. That's a huge accomplishment. And I can't focus on the things that maybe aren't as great and overlook that, because that was the main goal. But within everything that's gone on, there have been distractions that have pushed that to the back of my mind. And so it's back in the forefront, and that's what we're working on. We're being consistent with reading every single day. However, I also have a different mindset when it comes to that, in that when we're out, if we're out at the store somewhere, she sees a sign, I'm like, hey, Mallory, what does that say? Or read this, or maybe the sentence at the checkout line, or what does this package say? Like, that counts toward her reading. And so I feel like we've always done that, but I just never counted that toward her daily reading. So not all the time are we sitting down reading through a book for 30 minutes. Sometimes she's reading the menu at a restaurant, or sometimes she's reading the front of the package for what we're picking up at the grocery store. Or we go to her grandmother's house and she's reading the captions on the TV screen. Like, she's getting so many more opportunities that I don't think I was seeing as opportunities. We were doing all of that, but I was like, we still gotta do this. And that's been helpful. It's always been helpful. We've always done that. And so I'm looking at it differently as we progress through her reading journey. So I'm very, very proud of Mallory. The hard work that she is putting in. And as I said before, it can't be easy to learn how to read. I don't remember what that was like, but I know that it cannot possibly be easy. So I always compare it to learning a foreign language, and that's challenging as well. So reading is going good. She's still picking out books. We're still reading some Clifford the Dog books. I've been able to transition her to a few other books, but we read quite a few Clifford the Big Red Dog books this month as well. Still doing the Bop books as well. So my 5th and 6th graders, before I forget, don't forget to subscribe. I did not do October reads for them where they get in on the video with me, but we are going to combine October and November, possibly December. It just depends. So make sure that you subscribe so that you don't miss the book suggestions that my girls have. And they are always upfront and honest about the books that they like and what they don't like. I'm going to link some of their videos down below. So it's 5th and 6th grade. And if you want to check those out and you want to check them out with your child, please do so. My girls seem to hear a little bit better when it is one of their peers talking about something. So your children may be the same way. So make sure you check out those videos. As I said, I'll have them linked down below. Make sure you subscribe because the other ones will be coming out for the whole rest of the school year. That's probably something that we will always continue because I think it's really helpful to hear reviews from children. As far as my older daughters go, they are still doing the same things. We have not abandoned any curriculum whatsoever. We have not added anything in, and they are actually really far ahead within their math and their grammar, which is great considering we took 3 weeks off of grammar for the literature studies that they completed. Don't forget to subscribe. Those reviews are coming as well. I've already recorded them. I just need to edit them. But subscribe for that. Holes and Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry. But they took time off for that, and we recalculated on their math, and they'll be done like in March with their math, and the same thing with their grammar. So I'm not really pushing them super hard to do that every day. They're doing it 3 to 4 times per week. And then the other 1 to 2 days, we're doing like reading comp, or we have lots of lit games. We have math games. Sometimes they just take the day off and don't do it at all. So I like the flexibility. I like that we're ahead. I would like to continue that because it allows room for other things. Room for unexpected things, but also room to do other things and take us out of the normal routine. Speaking of routines, I have started really doing things different this time of year because y'all, I'm tired. I said that in the previous video, but I'm tired. And this is the middle of the school year. I think that a lot of you can relate to that. Like, it's just tiring right now. And I felt like I really needed to have even more focus and more discipline this time of year because it's easy to get distracted with all the things. Now, am I going like all the way in warden style? No. However, I pulled back out the timer, y'all, and we have been doing good with the schedule as far as setting time frames and maybe adding 5 to 10 minutes on the front or back end for things that happen, break time. But I have been really journaling our time and what we're using our time on. And it's been eye-opening for my girls. Now, I knew that there was time that was being wasted or yes, wasted, period. That's what it is. I'm not going to try to make it seem like it's something all pretty and fluffy, but my girls were wasting time. They were playing, or I need to go to the bathroom and there's been 20 minutes in there and I forget because I'm working with my youngest daughter and I'm like, wait, where have you been? So I've really been keeping track of time, keeping us on a schedule, and this schedule is a guide that I'm sticking close to. So I would suggest anyone journal your time. I journaled our time just regular. Like, I didn't say, here, we're going to move to this, just kind of how we move throughout the day. And man, it was eye-opening for our girls. I knew that there was quite a bit of time in there that was not being utilized the way it should have been or needed to be, even for resting time. Penciling in that resting time, because a lot of times if you don't pencil it in, you're not going to do it. So that was something that we've been working on. I'll give more details when we really kind of get into a groove, but I'm hanging on to that for the month of December. I am hanging on to that. January as well, because that gets a sticky time of year as well, but it's been working for us. So we're in that season where it's needed, and sometimes we resist things that we need. We have to change our schedule quite a bit throughout the school year just because of different activities. And so sometimes I'm resistant to changing when it's not because of like an activity or something like that, but this was definitely needed. So more to come on that. Make sure you stick around. I have my notes here, so if you see me pick my notebook up, my brain is all the way in left field and I was not going to rely on it alone to get me through this video and share everything. So let's talk about family subjects. I'm going to say that we failed, but I really don't feel that way, y'all. But my plan was for us to finish Writing Strands, America's Story 2, and Science before the end of November. We did complete Science. Yay! I'm celebrating that win. We loved it. We're done. Now we're at a point where it's like, okay, what are we going to do next? So I don't really know. We have like electricity and we have heaven and earth. We have... I don't know what else to do. We have science kits. So let me know. We just finished doing plants. We did the human body the semester before that. We did animals before that. So let me know, where would you go with a science curriculum? Put it down in the comments and let's see if y'all can help me figure out what our next science adventure is going to be. And when it comes to Writing Strands, we are not done. like I wanted us to be done by the end of November. So we are working on writing strands in December. That was not the plan, but it is the plan now. And that's what we need to do. I do not want to go into the new year, the second semester, working in this same level, because my girls don't need to be in this level. We've just moved really slow in it. And now it's like they've surpassed the curriculum, which is still great. And we have the next level. So it's time for us to get to the next level. So in January, we are going to be starting writing strands beginning level 2. We are almost done. I think we have 2 or 3 lessons left, and they are going through like 3 or 4 days of a lesson in one day. So we're going to be done with it. We're focusing a lot of our time on that. We also did not finish America's Story 2. We have 6 chapters left. And so we're doing 1 chapter, sometimes 2 a day. So we'll be done with that really, really soon. And then we'll take a break from history, do some read alouds, things like that. We have tons of them because I combined 2 curriculums. I'm going to link that video down below where I shared with you guys the 2 curricula that we use for history that we go through. One's great for different read alouds and activities and things like that. And then America's Story gives us like the story chronologically in a different form. So we'll just go to reading the read alouds, and then we will move on to America's Story 3, which is the last of the America's Story series by Masterbook. I'm okay that we didn't finish. It would have been nice to finish it, but we're still going to have plenty of time, the free time and the space to explore for the month of December like I originally had planned. All right, so on to some of the fun stuff. We took what I'm gonna call our first official field trip of the school year. We went to the First Americans Museum here. We have been before. They had a homeschool day, and it was all about getting to know heroes within the Native American community. So they had people who were a part of the Air Force and doctors and EMTs and stickball professionals and dancers, crafting. It was a fun experience. And I ran into, which I'm so glad she came up to me, but someone that I've been talking to local within our homeschool group, her and her daughter were there. So we ran into them. She recognized me and came up to me. We'd actually never met in person. And so she came up to me and told me who she was. So we actually got to hang out, an accidental, I would say, homeschool play date, but it was so much fun. We participated in so many activities, and we learned a lot about the Native American community and just different cultural aspects. And of course, it's always good to go through the museum. And one thing I can say about museums is you go through it the first time and you see different things. And the second time, it's like you see even more things that you probably didn't pay attention to the first time. It's one of those things where I feel like you need to go to a museum multiple times in order to catch those bits and pieces, because you can never see it all in one visit. That's why I love that they do homeschool days, because it's like dirt cheap to get in there. I think it was like $4 for each of us. So we were all able to go for like, it was less than that. We paid $12. I paid $12 for all of us to go. And so super cheap on cost. We had a really great time. We were there from like 9 in the morning, and I think we left around like 1:30 or 2 o'clock. So it was a full day, but we had a good time. And they do it again. They'll do another one with a completely different theme in February, and then they have another one in May. So we may go to all of those. I don't know. We may find some other field trips, but I'm just glad that we were able to hit up our first field trip in the month of November. Okay, the next first that we had was we finally were able to go on our first camping trip. Yay! Y'all, we had so much fun. I was nervous. I was worried that it would be too cold. I was worried about having enough food and enough clothes, and what are the girls gonna do? And they're not used to being out and exploring like in the woods like that. I had so many concerns. But y'all, we got there. It was a little stressful because, you know, nightfall was up on us and we had to hurry and get our tent set up and everything. But once we got it set up, it was so nice. Our girls were out in the woods and they were digging up things, and we went with some friends of ours, and they explored all day long, all day. Some people shed some tears because maybe they touched a cactus and they weren't supposed to, but nobody was injured. It was just a really good experience, and the weather was so nice. It was like the perfect weekend. We went the first weekend of November. It was perfect. We went down in Texas. Amazing. Like, we're gonna do it. So our plan is to go again, and we will be going in March of 2024. We learned a lot from it. There's some things that we want to take with us, some things that we really didn't need. It's a learning experience. I'm glad that we were finally able to do it a year and a half later. We finally made it to our first camping trip, and it will definitely not be our last. Another major thing for the month of November is we celebrated my oldest 12th birthday. I cannot believe I have a 12-year-old. It's just, when I look at her, I'm like, where did the time go? And y'all, she just wanted something so simple. We got up, we went to 8 o'clock church service. We stayed for our Sunday school. We call it fulfillment hour. We left and we went to our favorite restaurant, which is called Picasso Cafe. We had Sunday brunch. And after that, we took a few pictures. We went downtown. She wanted to ride on the scooters downtown. So we went and rode scooters all around downtown, all 5 of us. Such a good time. After that, I think we grabbed like some, let's see, what is it? What are they called? Slushies. We grabbed the slush from Sonic. We grabbed a little dessert. We came home, played games, watched some TV, and she was so excited. Like, that's all she wanted for her birthday, was just more family time. We had a really, really great time. My baby's not a baby anymore, but she's still my baby, and she knows that. She'll always be our baby. She is officially 12 years old. Not only did we celebrate her birthday, but baby girl just signed herself up. No, she will be getting braces. Yes, it is time. We went to the dentist. We all had great checkups. We went and had a few consultations done, and she's going to be getting braces in the month of December. I know it's not a requirement. It is definitely majority of time a cosmetic desire. There can be some hygiene aspects to it that require it. She does have a couple of little cross bites, and she's fine with me talking about this, but the next time you see her, she might have a mouth full of metal, but she's mature enough to be able to handle it. She's ready for it, and that's just another adventure that we are taking in this life. Another exciting thing that happened for Maggie, our middle daughter, she has been working on robotics and coding since like August with the first Lego League. They went to regionals in November, and to all of our surprise, they got 3rd place overall out of 50 teams. This is a brand new team. There are only 2 people on their team who have ever done it before, and that was last year. This is a young team. We have 5th and 6th graders, all new to robotics and coding, and they placed 3rd place. And that means that we are actually going on to state here in a couple of weeks. We don't know what to expect, but the kiddos are super excited to be able to do it. Maggie has really been into coding. We also found a homeschool coding class at our library that she's been going to every Tuesday from 10 to 11 a.m., which has been perfect for her. She is loving every bit of it, and she's going to continue that in January. So that's a part of her extracurricular. I'm so thankful because there's a lot about coding that I don't know, and the fact that she can go and sit in a class with, I think there's like 3 or 4 other homeschool students there, and she walks with them through different coding exercises. It has really, really been great. I also signed the girls up for some STEM classes and STEM kits, and all of this is at our local library. So I encourage you, check your local library, check different areas. I also found some free writing classes and workshops that I'm gonna put my oldest daughter in the spring. Like, things are just popping up everywhere. So I'm really taking time to research where we can get things super low cost and enrich the girls and help them. That's been hard for me to keep up with electives. So if I can find it outside of the house where somebody else directs what they are doing and I just have to get them there and bring them back home, that is a win for me. It's a win for them because they are learning something. And it's just one less thing that I have to teach. Not that I wouldn't enjoy it, but sometimes when you really don't know something that in depth, like coding and writing and all that, it can be a little challenging. And I do think that they need to interact with other people who know what they are doing so that they can help them and challenge them moving forward when it comes to things like that. And that's just my personal opinion, but my girls have really grown in those areas. And so we are headed to state. Wish us luck, you guys. I think Maggie and the team are going to do amazing. We've been spending a lot of time outside. We had some good weather. We also had some cold weather. I set out on a mission to complete at least 1 mile every single day. Some days I fall a little short and I do 5 days. Some days I do 6. Majority of the time I'm doing 7 days a week, at least 1 mile on top of my other exercise. Feeling really good. It's getting the girls outside as well. So I'm enjoying the weather. Even when it's cool, I still am making myself get out there. All of the girls are also prepping for the homeschool concert, which is coming up. It's a Christmas concert. They get all dressed up and dolled up. Last year was our first year and they absolutely loved it. great music, a fun time, a reason to dress up. I mean, we don't have a whole lot of those in our lives. I don't know about you guys, but those are like few and far between. So anytime we can get dressed up, we love it. And we're headed to the concert, and then they will take a break from band and possibly go back in January to do the second semester. Okay, if you're still here, hang on. I just want to share everything with you guys. Each year, our church gives out baskets. And I say baskets of food. It's not a basket, y'all. It's literally groceries, okay? They get 3 brown bags of food on top of a huge box of like cold food. So like turkeys and meat and eggs and milk and all the things like that. And then they get bread and a 5 or 10 pound bag of potatoes and big roasting dishes, tons. They get groceries, okay? This is literally enough food to last a family of 5, like 3 to 4 weeks, if not more. They would definitely need to add fruit because there's no fruit, and they'd have to add fresh vegetables, but they get a lot of this food. And so we give this away every year at our church. We've done it since we've moved here, and it's always something fun. Last year we did it because we were gone out of town, but being able to do it this year, it felt so good. It's something we do in November, and we also do it in December as well. That is a big highlight for us. We were able to go and see the Trolls movie. I don't know if you guys are Trolls fans, but my girls definitely are Trolls fans. So family movie time. That's something we don't get to do very much either. So all 5 of us watching a movie. We went to a place called the Flicks Brew House where they serve food, and they pop their popcorn in coconut oil. And so we get to have popcorn with no butter, and it is delicious. If you ever go there, ask for that. No butter. It's amazing. And so we got to watch the movie and hang out as a family. And my husband was off work. So that was all nice. It warms my heart. We also got our Christmas tree up early, way early for us. I did have a bit of an issue with the lights. We had a pre-lit Christmas tree. Every year that I plugged it in for the last 2 years, more and more lights are out. I just couldn't take it this year. So y'all, I just cut all the lights off. I just cut them off, pulled them all off the tree. I went and bought some new lights. We strung the lights on the tree. It's perfect because I refuse to buy another Christmas tree right now. The lights were way cheaper. We're on a budget, and a Christmas tree was not a part of that budget. So we got lights hung up on the Christmas tree. Our living room is all decorated for Christmas time. We are pulling books off every day to read winter and Christmas books. We have all of the Christmas activities on the fireplace. On top of that, the big girls are still doing volleyball. Mallory just started her 1st and 2nd grade basketball team, and she is still doing gymnastics. So the life of Tillman's is still rocking and rolling, y'all.